Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Today, out here in the knife shop again, we hadn't done nothing but work on knives. I have got one knife right here I'm very proud of. I did not film building it. This is the knife out of the race. Now I know y'all were expecting the bone handle, but this piece of bone that I had, y'all see the cracks developing in it. I've done had several that you get through putting a knife and it's kind of small. It wasn't as beefy as I wanted. So I went out here to my old plum bush. It's dead. I got the main plum tree out here is dead, and I cut me a limb off. And y'all look how pretty that is. Piece of copper mounted on the back, and I know you can't hardly see that, but it is fitted on there pretty good, very sharp. All right, so anyway, y'all want to know how sharp it is. I think it's sharp. What do y'all think? Anyway, put some oil on it. The bolster right here that's rusted metal. And I know you can't see real good. So what that is, that bolster is made out of something just like this. Just a old rusted, and I wanted to leave that rusting in there for character. Yeah, I could have slicked it up and polished it off just as easy. So we did polish around the edges, got a spacer in the back there, but that is plumb. That handle has a good feel, man, y'all, that knife. Either hand, and you can see with my hand how much is sticking out. So I figured y'all want to know what the length was. Let's do it this way. Give me a second here so y'all can read. Blade length about 5.5 inches. Yeah, blade length 5.5, overall 10 inches. So the reason I am telling y'all all this stuff, I'm gonna put this knife up for auction Friday night on the live. We're gonna auction it off. This is the first knife I have ever built. Where's my piece of steel? I had it laying right here. I thought, oh Lord, what'd I do with it? Had my old piece of junk iron laying up here. I done throwed it away somewhere. What'd I do with it? Right here. Okay, this is the first knife that I have ever made out of an old race. There was 2 of these laying there. In fact, I think there's another 2 down in there somewhere. But this is what this knife is built out of. Right there. So if you want a shot at this knife Friday night on the live, we're gonna put it up for auction. I figure somewhere around $300. It is hand forged out, sharp as a razor, heat treated, oil quenched, put in the oven over there and tempered. I mean, this is as much of a real hand forged knife as it gets. Also, I don't know if I'm gonna auction this off or just have it available but I have got a Jonah and Bodoc, okay? I had a pair of these I am making. See that one? I still got to shape it. There's the mate to it. The guy wanted 2 of them. Well, I'm out here not paying attention, working on 2 or 3 things at one time, and I glued this on the extra blank that I had over there. But I had plenty of the wood, so I just made another one. This I did not want to send on an order, and the reason is there's pitting. Right there, you can see that pitting in that blade. This side, not so. It's got color to it, but no holes in it. This side, you can see that pitting right there. Well, I don't want to send that off on an order because somebody gets it, it's not going to affect the integrity of the blade. It's as good a knife as any of them. It's as good a knife as the one I got back on my side. And look, I got this today. Joey sent this back. It has got the logo. So any of y'all that have a knife, Joey said he could put you a logo in it for about $25. You ship it over there to him, pay for the shipping back. But I'm going to have this one available for sale. I'm just going to sell it. Yeah, I've got orders that it could fit to. It could have went with this order. But I didn't want to send that pitted blade on order. I wanted somebody to buy it knowing, hey, that is what I'm getting. That way there's no, like, oh, man, this ain't, you know what I mean. But I do have my Jonah back. I'm glad I have been missing it, y'all. It not being on my side drives me nuts. I've reached for it. I don't know what the times, but I ain't even got a knife. And I've tried to tote several different knives, and they're all good knives. I mean, I've got piles of good knives. I've got knives I've made. I've got knives people have sent me and give me, but once you get attached to one, that's the one I wanted. And so, anyway, I've got another little knife I have made. So before I get off on it, one more thing about this one. At some point this summer, there won't be any more of these knives at this point, at this price anyway, because I have a limited supply of the steel that I'm taking. And that's why I keep telling people, y'all, I'm fixing to have to quit taking orders and keep people, oh, please take it. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. At some point, I'm going to run out of the steel, and I'm going to have orders sitting there, and I'm going to be like, okay, y'all, I can't do these orders. Sorry. And that's what I did want to happen. That's why it's not that I don't want to make somebody a knife, that I'm saying now I need to stop taking orders. Because I've not been able to source these saw blades. This is a saw blade that I've been using. It's a Tenru. This is a 12-inch saw blade. It is written right there on there. That's a 60 tooth. That has nothing to do with it. This is a 3/32 thick blade. It is a very good steel. I have looked them up. They're at a 62 Rockwell from the company before I ever touch it. I mean, and I have checked them. They good saw blades. I have made knives out of them, and I have sent them to everywhere, and everybody is using them, and they're like, and so if anybody is working in a factory somewhere cutting metal tubing, cutting metal of any kind, and y'all are using these and throwing them in the trash, I'd love to have them. I'll pay for the shipping if you'll send them to me. I know there's somewhere that people's throwing these in the trash because they last a couple of weeks and them teeth get all broken. That blade is about $100 and something bucks was when I was using them. I think we were paying $90 something. My dad's been paying a little over $100 for them, and here recently they may be even more than that. I don't know, but I just have a limited supply of these blades. So this is what the Jonah is made out of. And at some point, I'm going to run out of these. And when I have to start going to the steel, that all has to be heat treated. So what I have been doing is experiment with some other steels. And this knife is a very good little knife. It is heat treated. I made it out of a piece of small steel that I had. It was a design that this guy that I got a lot of this material from, he had made this knife, and I think I told y'all he ground into it. So I liked the way that handle looked for whatever reason, and I said I'm gonna make a knife out of it and play with it and see. But I put it in the forge and heated it up, and then I quenched it in oil. And then I put it in the oven over there for a couple of hours like I do a lot of the steel, and I'm going to put an edge on it when I get it done and play with it a little bit and see how that holds up. But I've been working on a lot of this stuff for the last couple of days. And that's why I hadn't been out filming fishing and all that kind of stuff. Just ain't. But I've been playing with my blacksmith forge and beating on that anvil. So the hole is way too big. Right here. This is the chisel I used to split that. Well, I thought it was going to when it opened up, it was going to draw in a lot. Well, it didn't. Look. I mean, you put that in there and look. it ain't but about a quarter of an inch. It ain't even a quarter inch. So but the next thing is I've got to have a drift. I've had several people ask about it, hand axe and stuff. I just need to practice on that anvil and blacksmithing. I know how to do it, but I hadn't filmed any of what I've been doing recently because I didn't want a pile of comments, or you need to do this, or you need to get that, or you need to be doing that. And I just need time to do what I'm doing and figure some stuff out is all I need right now. And it's like this. So the next thing, I've got to order me a drift to get that eye like I want it so that they're all pretty much similar. The next thing is, y'all look at this. Jackhammers. I got a bucket full of them now. Look at this one. Oh, you talking about the tomahawk on the axe I'm going to make out of that? But you talk about a lot of heating and beating. So anybody that knows anything about these things, I feel like they got to be hard and good steel. I don't have any experience with them. I'm sure Black Bear Forge has probably got some videos on them. I feel almost certain he does. And I may pull them up and look, but I had a guy brought me these by, and you're talking about some awesome work. So give me some tips on what all I can do with that. I mean, there ain't no telling what all you can make out of that. So, a lot of good steel. There's even a couple of small ones in there. Make us some little mouse hawks. So anyway, I have been in the knife shop. I hadn't been out adventuring. I never did go look for the rest of the Greenbrier route. We fixing to go up here and film some cooking for Michelle's channel. We're gonna light the grill and do some cooking on the back porch. So I have been out here most of the day. Me and my old buddy. Let me show y'all where he is. I moved him over there where he ain't right here by this anvil getting stuff dropped on him, and he's been right there all day long. And yes, I've got wood. I've about let it go out now. But we've got fire going here. He probably want me to put some more wood in. I'll tell y'all this. That Osage right there gets hot. So anyway, I didn't have anything else filmed to put out for tomorrow morning, and I've been right here. Really this week I have not made a lot of knives. Well, I have, but I've been trying to get education. I've been playing with my forge. I have not gotten to do that, and like I said, I didn't want to film the forge work because of I know how the comment section gets, and it gets frustrating with me when I know I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just experimenting and documenting me learning a craft. Yeah, I can blacksmith out a blade. I mean, it's obvious. I got one right there I'm fixing to auction off. But I'm not efficient. I am not great at it. I need some work. I need some practice. So that is what I've been doing this week. And I will show y'all this. This blade that I showed in a video first of the week, it was a beautiful knife, had been made and was assembled, and I was going to heat treat it. Well, when I heat treated it, or no, I wasn't going to heat treat it. I was going to try not to, but I assembled it without glue and everything. I went over and hacked in a limb, and it just dented that blade up. I was like, okay, way too soft, going to have to heat treat it. I had it apart, pulled the bowster off, handle off. I put it in that forge and oil quenched it. Well, I've got the feeling it wasn't hard. So I cut the two pieces that I cut off right here. I put them on this anvil right here. I heated both of them up, and I put one in oil and I put one in water. Well, the one in oil, when I beat it right here in the corner of this anvil, it just folded around in half. Steel bad soft. So mild steel basically. And this is out of a saw blade, big saw blade back there. It's a concrete saw blade. And the other one that I water quenched, well, it folded, bent just a little bit, and then it snapped. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. So when I water quenched this blade, it just warped all up. So I've got to have some tips. I don't know what steel it is. It is a big, and the blade has got some surface rust on it over there. I'll have to show y'all the blade. It is a big masonry blade. And it's right back there. See that? So it's not an old blade. It's a fairly new blade, but I don't know what the steel is. So we're going to do some more experiment with this. My only idea, and I don't know that it'd work, is I could cut bars out of it like this before I start cutting a knife design and heat treat it in water and clamp it in something and let it cool like that. And it maybe, in other words, heat treat and quench the whole bar and then make a knife out of it. So I don't know. At this point, I've got a lot of other steels that I can use. I mean, I've got a pile of scrap metal back here. There's some very good steel in there. So I'm not out of stuff to make knives out of. I'm trying to start diverting into making some one-off things like that knife up there. That is what I want to do. I want to make just odd and end, this, that, and the other and put them for sale. But the Jonah is such a great knife. I really hate to get to a place that I can't ever make these no more because, so if anybody out there, once again, you can source me some of these saw blades, reach out to me and let me know. I'll pay for the shipping on them. And it is just because that blade allows me to make a knife for $150. And it puts an affordable, good knife in somebody's hands. Once I start adding the heat treating process and other steels and putting a lot more work into them, price is going to go up. So that is, you know, I can always do the Jonah design. Just the steels are going to change and the price is going to change. So thank y'all for watching The Spirit of the Outdoors. Just a video today I wanted to put together, and I know all the videos this week has been odd and end stuff out here, but we're going to get back to some fishing and stuff here pretty quick. So I needed to spend a week out here working on stuff so I got some money and time to fish next week. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things, the way you like to do it. Me and old Roscoe going to do things the way we like to. Ain't we, bud? You want to eat? Come here, bud. He's been napping all day, y'all. Just go cook us something to eat. You want to? I'm hungry. We got to feed them chickens. Yeah, we better go feed them chickens. Over and out.